Quick apology first, this one's late. And that's on us. We spent a good chunk of that time trying to figure out how to justify putting one particular gun on this list because it got buffed again this season and we genuinely tried to make the math work. Keep that one in the back of your head. Season 5 went after the top of the meta instead. The SO14 caught its third straight nerf, movement, sprint, and bullet speed all pulled down. The CX9 9mm burst lost 20% of its range. And the gun re-ranked, dead last season, and called the most overrated in the game, just climbed 7 spots. These are the only 20 guns that matter in Season 5. The Lakman didn't lose a thing this season, it just got passed. When the gun underneath you jumps 7 spots, you drop a place even when nothing about you changed. 32 meters of 4-shot kill at 252 milliseconds, 45 meters of 5-shot kill at 335 milliseconds, 6.3 meters per second sprint, 3.4 meters per second strafe, 272 milliseconds ADS. Same numbers as last season. The reason to run it is still ease of use. The iron sight is dead clean. The recoil never surprises you, the flinch is low, and the 60-round mag means you stop thinking about reloads entirely. The problem isn't the gun. The problem is that every flex AR right now does roughly the same job, and when the class is this tight, being good everywhere and great nowhere is what lands you at 20. If you want the flex AR that never fights back, you start with the Lakman. The MX9 only dropped a spot because the Switchblade climbed over it, which is almost funny because Season 5 is the patch that made the MX9 better. The upper arm multiplier went from 1.06 to 1.14. On paper, that's a rounding error. In a game where half your hits land on arms, it's the difference between hoping for the 4-shot kill and counting on it. Inside 24 meters, missing that 4-shot now takes real effort. The 3-shot kill still lives from 0 to 6 meters at 140 milliseconds. The 4-shot runs out to 24 meters at 210 milliseconds. And past that, you fall into 6-shot territory at 280 milliseconds. The mobility is the sell anyway. 6.7 meters per second sprint, 4.95 meters per second strafe, 150 millisecond ADS, 154 millisecond sprint to fire. The 35 round mag and the ugly recoil past 20 meters are the price, but you're not fighting at 30 meters with this thing in the first place. If you live in close quarters, you run the MX9, and Season 5 just made that an easier call. Testing every gun on this list meant hours and hours of back-to-back ranked, and that is when the device starts working against me. It gets hot. Black Shark sent me their Magnetic Cooler 6 Pro and sponsored today's video, but I wanted to see if it beats the one I already have. On my phone, it just snaps on. The magnets inside do the work, so no question there. The real test was my tablet. It's too powerful in a 5.1mm body with no fan, even thinner than my phone. Run a long session and the heat has nowhere to go, so the touch slows and frames slip. If I want my aim to hold late, I need to pull that heat off the back. The cooler I use now does the job, but it is the same round shape, just bigger and bulkier. My tablet is not magnetic, so it needs a plate, and mine already has one. The 6 Pro locked right on. There is a plate in the box too for any device without magnets. In the front is a full color dashboard you can make your own with custom wallpaper, art, and lighting from the app. But the part I care about is the live readout, temperature, fan speed, and cooling mode as it runs. It pulls the temperature down by as much as 50 degrees Celsius, low enough to reach -25, and the throttling stopped. And it does that from a body a fraction of the size of my old one. 2 sensors tune the cooling on their own, so it never overheats and prevents condensation. If you're tired of your device working against you late in a match, this is what fixed it for me. Quieter, smarter, and cooler than what I had. Grab the Black Shark Magnetic Cooler 6 Pro right in the link down the description. This 10 is what you get if you cross the QQ9 10mm damage with the MX9's chassis, and forget to put on a suppressor. 16 meters of 4-shot kill at 189 milliseconds, 22 meters of 5-shot kill at 252 milliseconds. The damage tracks the QQ9 10mm almost exactly, just reached through a higher fire rate and smaller per bullet numbers. The handling tracks the MX9, 6.6 meters per second sprint, 4.95 meters per second strafe, 168 millisecond ADS. The catch is the magazine. 32 rounds in a 900 RPM gun means you dump the mag in under 2 seconds, and the 1.6 reload nearly matches the time it took to empty it. No suppression either, so every kill lights you up on the minimap. It's built for search and destroy and stranded on a list that rewards guns you can take anywhere. That mismatch is the only thing keeping a top 10 weapon down at 18. The MG42 forgives everything. Miss a shot, and the fire rate is so high you won't even register the gap. 16 meters of 5-shot kill at 232 milliseconds, 38 meters of 6-shot kill at 290 milliseconds. Those are assault rifle numbers coming out of a gun with no recoil, no aim shake, and a bullet spread tight enough to win fights most LMGs lose. The 357 millisecond ADS is good for the class, and the slow movement is just the tax every LMG pays. If the only skill you want to lean on is putting your crosshair on a body and holding it there, the MG42 turns that into kills faster than anything else in its class. I've been deep in sniping lately, working on something for you guys that's coming soon, and the more time I put into it, the less I understand why nobody touches the 3-line rifle. People are picking DLQs, Locusts, Koshkas, even Arctic 50s over it, and the Tundra still gets played constantly even after eating another nerf this season. Its Serpent Wrap lost part of its ADS boost. The 3-line rifle does 319 milliseconds ADS against the Locust at 383, 1.8 flinch, same as the HDR, 1118 millisecond fire interval, same as the DLQ. 5 rounds, a fast reload, a clean scope. The one thing holding people back is the ADS animation, which feels wrong for about 2 hours, then drops out of your head completely. The sniper everyone defaults to keeps getting worse, and the one sitting right beside it keeps getting ignored. If you play S&D, the 3-line rifle is the pick the lobby hasn't figured out yet. The HSO-405 is the best one-pump shotgun in the game right now. Every trigger pull throws 15 pellets, and you only need 4 of them to land inside 13 meters to drop someone. Hip fire or ADS, the kill math doesn't move. What makes it scary is the 6.6 meters per second sprint speed. You're in someone's face before they've finished turning, and the fight is over in a single shot. The 1344 millisecond fire interval is the punishment for missing, because if you whiff, you're frozen through the whole animation. So don't whiff. ADS before the shot tightens the pellets and pushes your one-shot consistency to the edge of that range. Other guns on this list win close range. The HSO takes it off the table. If you want to stop having close range gunfights at all, you bring the HSO 405. Hand someone 200 bullets and they'll work out pretty fast that firing matters more than moving. That's the PKM. 32 meters of 3-shot kill at 190 milliseconds, then an infinite 4-shot kill at 285 milliseconds. Flinch sits at 0.55, bullet impact at 1.4, and the reload eats 6 full seconds of your life. Picture a DRH bolted to a 200-round mag and given the turning speed of a cargo ship. Out of precision, it does nothing to you. In precision, the damage simply never runs out. The whole gun lives and dies on where you set up. Get the spot right and you're abusing a magazine with no bottom. Get it wrong and you're a statue waiting on a 6-second reload. We're almost at the halfway mark now, and the gun that shows up next made the biggest jump on this entire list. Last season, we put the Switchblade X9 dead last and called it the most overrated gun in the game. 7 spots later, I have to take part of that back. The devs handed it with 2 buffs that actually count. Sprint to fire dropped by 30 milliseconds, which pulls its response window in line with the QQ910mm and the VMP. And the monolithic suppressor went from a 10% range boost to 18%, stretching the profile to 14 meters of 4-shot kill at 213 milliseconds, 24 meters of 5-shot kill at 284 milliseconds, and a 6-shot kill out to 30 meters at 355 milliseconds. The damage is still mid. Everything above it on this list kills faster on paper, and that part didn't change. But the Switchblade X9 was never sold on its time to kill. 6.8 meters per second sprint, 4.5 meters per second strafe, a 41 round mag, a 1.1 second reload, no recoil, a clean iron sight. It does exactly one thing, which is stay out of your way. The buffs didn't reinvent the gun, they sharpened the only edge it had. If you want a switchblade that finally backs up the way it feels, this is the season to run it. The R9O spent years as the shotgun you grabbed when you couldn't get the HSO. That's over. Buff the ADS bullet spread on a gun whose entire identity is ADS bullet spread, and this is what you end up with. The spread value of 78 only touches the second shot. The first shot writes the initial bullet spread, which sits around 33, tighter than a few SMGs on this list. That first shot alone lands up to 90 damage at 30 meters, which turns a clean 2-shot kill at that distance from a gamble into a routine. ADS before you pull the trigger, and the R9O turns into a mid-range 2-shot weapon, which is not something shotguns are supposed to do. If you want a shotgun that wins fights at range, the R9O is the only one that does it. The Ram 7 is the AR you reach for when you don't want to think. 12 meters of consistent 4-shot kill, a potential 22 at 210 milliseconds, then 38 meters of 5-shot kill stretching to 45 on clean hits at 280 milliseconds. A 50-round mag, a 1.2 second reload, 0 recoil, no flinch, a pinpoint iron sight, strong BSA. Season 5 bumped the headshot multiplier from 1.3 to 1.4, and I went hunting for a scenario where that changes a fight. There isn't one. The shots to kill don't move anywhere it counts. So the Ram 7 is exactly what it was last season, a gun that does everything well and nothing perfectly. If you want one AR for every mode and 0 decisions, reach for the Ram 7 and stop thinking about it. The top 10 starts right here. Everything from this point up is a gun you plan around, both when you run it and when you're playing against it. And no, that gun from the intro still hasn't shown up. We're getting to it. The Type 19 is what efficiency looks like with the personality switched off. 31 meters of 4-shot kill at 240 milliseconds, 43 meters of 5-shot kill at 320 milliseconds, bullet spread at 18, flinch at 0.42, 0 recoil, and a red dot if you want one. 48 rounds, a 1.4 second reload, 3.45 meters per second strafe. The one number that drags is the 5.8 meters per second sprint speed, which makes rotating feel heavier than it does on the XM4 or the Ram 7. But once your feet are planted and you're firing, nothing in the class holds steadier. The Type 19 asks for nothing and delivers from the first round to the last. If you want an AR that never wobbles, you plant your feet and let it work. The XM4 is the Type 19 tuned for speed instead of stability. You give up 2 meters of 4-shot range and 4 meters of 5-shot range, landing at 29 and 39 meters, and in return you get 229 milliseconds ADS, 6.1 meters per second sprint, and a 50-round mag. The fire rate is identical, which means the whole difference is feel. It's a touch harder to control than the Type 19, and with no built-in red dot, the iron sight can crowd your screen unless you've got a skin worth running. If you'd rather have the faster, more responsive version than the rock steady one, you run the XM4. At long range, these two answer to nobody. Infinite 1-shot headshot, infinite 2-shot kill, with the only catch being the leg rules. The Type 63 loses the 2-tap the second a leg is involved. The SKS lets you get away with 1 leg hit but never 2. Picking between them is the same call as XM4 versus Type 19. Control or speed? The SKS gives you 0.33 flinch and almost no recoil, but a heavy 350 millisecond ADS. The Type 63 carries double the flinch at 0.6 and cuts the ADS to 256 milliseconds. SKS if you want to win the steady long-range duel, Type 63 if you want to pull the trigger first in ranked. Both of them beat the number 1 gun as the distance opens up, but step inside 24 meters and the number 1 gun is faster, hits just as hard, and holds more rounds. You'll see exactly why in a minute. Now, remember that gun we said we tried to force onto the list? It's the Peacekeeper. Its accurate bullet spread got pushed out to 50 meters this season, which is overkill, because 40 was already plenty. We tried everything to justify a spot for it. We couldn't. The reason is the same one it's always been, the recoil. Nothing this season touched it. Fix that one stat and the peacekeeper rewrites this whole ranking, but until then, it stays exactly where it is, off the list. The LCAR-9 got a real rework too. Its third range went from a 7-shot to a 6-shot kill. The Ranger barrel shed most of its penalties, and the integral suppressor picked up a strafe buff. If you're in an esport rule set, that's the one to watch. Now, back to the list. There's a reason the HVK-30 isn't allowed in competitive play, and that reason is its ceiling. 18 meters of 3-shot kill at 181 milliseconds, 29 meters of 4-shot kill at 272 milliseconds, an infinite 5-shot kill at 363 milliseconds. The 2.1 headshot multiplier knocks the shots to kill down by 1 across almost every range, so the consistent time to kill is fast and the one you actually hit with headshots is faster. 270 millisecond ADS, 6.4 meters per second sprint, 3.2 meters per second strafe. It moves fine. The two things holding it back are real though. The recoil runs in an S shape that wrecks long sprays, and the magazine stops at 28 rounds, which turns hardpoint and domination into an ammo problem. Learn to burst instead of holding the trigger and the HVK hands you kills you had no right to win. The top 6 are a different conversation. These are the guns that take the other team's options away, and the one right above this used to do it in 3 bullets out to 27 meters. For the first time in a long time, the CX-9 9mm has a weakness. Season 5 hit the 9mm magazine with a 20% range penalty and tackled 13 milliseconds onto the burst delay. The one burst kill that used to stretch to 27 meters now lands shorter, and every burst you miss costs you more before you can fire the next one. Inside its range though, nothing moved. 3 bullets, 1 burst, 1 body, 116 milliseconds. That number still beats the KQ-9 10mm, the Odin, the SO-14, the SKS, the Type 63, the R90, and the MX-9. 116 milliseconds is about half of human reaction time, which means if the CX-9 fires first, the other player is dead before they've decided to shoot back. 7 meters per second sprint, no recoil because it's a burst gun, and a 12 bullet mag that still caps you at 4 bursts. Run overkill with a longer range partner, and the CX-9 still owns everything up close. It just can't dig us deep into mid-range anymore. The fastest non-shotgun kill in the game is still right here. The devs just shortened the leash. The Odin's full pitch is 2 bullets. 26 meters of consistent 2-shot kill at 145 milliseconds, an infinite 3-shot kill past that, and 2-shot potential reaching 45 meters when the hits cooperate. That worst case still beats most guns at their best. The recoil looks ugly but climbs almost straight up, and the slow fire rate makes it manageable after a short warm-up. Movement is bad, the mag holds 25, and the 1.5 bullet impact means whoever you're shooting can barely shoot back. The Odin is not a fun gun. It doesn't feel good in your hands. But hold an angle with it, and that angle stops existing for the other team. If you care about winning the round more than enjoying the gunfight, you pick the Odin. There was a time the USS-9 was the flex weapon. It's still top tier, but the room got more crowded. 28 meters of 3-shot kill at 200 milliseconds, 55 meters of 4-shot kill at 300 milliseconds. That kind of range on an SMG is something no other gun in the class touches, and it pairs well with no recoil, no aim shake, a clean iron sight, 224 millisecond ADS, 6.2 meters per second sprint, 3.5 meters per second strafe. The cracks show past 35 meters, where the BSA crept up to 21, and the shots start scattering. The 1.1 flinch lets hard-hitting guns shove you off target, and the 32-round mag with its 1.1 second reload doesn't forgive misses. The USS-9 isn't the do-everything weapon it once was. It's still the best flex SMG on the list, but the guns above it pulled away, and each of those 3 solves a problem the USS-9 can't. 3 guns left, and there are 3 different answers to one question. What do you grab when the only thing that matters is winning the round? The KQ-9 10mm has been parked just outside the meta since April 2023, watching other SMGs take their turn. It's still holding number 3. a 3-shot kill up to 18 meters at 158 milliseconds, and if you somehow miss it, a fully consistent 238 millisecond time to kill out to 27 meters. For reference, the XM4 gives you 28 meters of 4-shot kill at 240 milliseconds, which means from 0 to 27 meters, the QQ9 10mm matches the best Flex AR's range and beats it up close. 6.7 meters per second sprint, 4.1 meters per second strafe, 206 millisecond ADS, 100 millisecond sprint to fire delay. Fast in every direction. The cost is real. 30 rounds, a 1.3 second reload, an iron sight that won't sit still, and recoil with no rhythm to it. If the HVK is the Flex AR that fights you until you master it, QQ9 10mm is its SMG twin. The floor is rough. The ceiling is absurd. Where the QQ9 10mm and the CX9 pick a lane, the VMP refuses to. It works in respawn, it works in S&D, it works whether you're pushing or holding. 13 meters of 4-shot at 186 milliseconds, 71 meters of 5-shot kill at 248 milliseconds, then 33 meters of potential 5-shot, consistent 6-shot at 310 milliseconds. The handling is the real story. 182 millisecond ADS, 135 millisecond sprint to fire, 6.4 meters per second sprint, 4.1 meters per second strafe, and a 52 round mag that reloads in under a second. No recoil, clean iron sight, no shake, low flinch. Nothing about the VMP needs managing. The only thing keeping it off in the top spot is that the gun above it shouldn't exist in the state it's in. 3 seasons in a row, the devs have walked into this gun's room with a nerf, and 3 seasons in a row they've walked out without fixing it. You already know what it is. The SO14. Of course, it's the SO14. Season 5 went at the base gun directly. Movement speed down, sprint speed down, and the RFX 40 barrel picked up a bullet speed penalty on top. 3 nerfs built to slow it down on the move. And then, in the same patch, they buffed the wildfire perk. Movement speed up, sprint speed up, bullet speed up, almost exactly enough to erase every nerf the base gun just took. So read it the way it's meant to be read. The devs aren't trying to kill the SO14. They're steering it. They want you on the full auto build instead of the semi-auto, and honestly, that's the right call because the semi-auto version was always the more miserable one to play against. The ranking doesn't move an inch. 24 meters of consistent 2-shot kill, then an infinite 3-shot kill with 2-shot potential on headshots or chest hits as long as you stay off the legs. 219 millisecond ADS, 6.4 meters per second sprint, 3.4 meters per second strafe. It moves faster than every single assault rifle on this list, and I do mean every single one. 3 seasons of nerfs, 3 seasons of the SO14 shrugging them off. Season 5 didn't weaken the gun, it just changed which build you should run. 20 guns, the same 20 as last season. The devs nerfed the top, buffed the bottom, shoved the switchblade up 7 spots, leashed the CX9, and tried to push the SO14 onto a new build. And after all of it, the order barely flinched. These 20 took everything Season 5 threw at them and stayed standing. And they stay standing in the one mode built to break the meta. The league play bans the wildcards, gets the perks, strips out half the equipment, and caps you at 3 score streaks, then leaves every weapon on this list completely legal. The guns carry over untouched. What changes is everything wrapped around them, the perks, the operators, the secondaries, and we built all of it.